and PBS present the best in college basketball. This afternoon, the Shockers of Wichita State versus the Indiana State Sycamores. Brought to you by Pabst Blue Ribbon. Pabst is brewed to be the best, naturally with no artificial ingredients, and you can taste it. By Gillette Atra. For closeness with comfort, it's Gillette's best shave. By Ford and your Ford dealer, who invite you to see and test drive the all-new LTD and Mustang now. And by Allstate Insurance Companies. You're in good hands with Allstate.
You're looking in on a very frantic Wabash Valley area. This is the first time that Indiana State Sycamores have ever been on national television. And are they ready? They think they're number one. And they hope to prove today by remaining undefeated that they are number one. Hello, everyone. I'm Jim Simpson. And working with me is Al McGuire. And Al is the man that I said could be elected president because he says they should be number one. But there is another team here, Al, and that is Wichita State. And smile when you say cheese.
Well, Cheese Johnson is originally from Harlem, the streets of Harlem. He ended up on the plains of Kansas. He's a high school All-American. He's dynamite inside. If you get the ball to him, he's going to score. He can stick his jumper from about 18 feet. He has incredible hang time. So I hope everyone has the wine because Wichita has bought the cheese.
We got to remember also that when Wichita State was beaten by Indiana State by 10 points early in the season, Cheese Johnson did not play. Now we come to the subject of, this is bird country.
Oh, this is bird watching country, but this is a rare bird. There's a meteor called Halley's Comet that appears once every 76 years. And that's what they call him down here, is Halley's Comet. He has unbelievable ability, and welcome to Larry's world.
Well, it's going to try to remain undefeated. We will tell you again that Al McGuire could be elected president. Billy Packer has said, no, Indiana State has not played the schedule. Well, take a look now. This is a T-shirt that many people are wearing here today. And you should see the handkerchiefs we have tucked in our pocket. And you should see the game, which you're going to see when we come back to frantic Indiana State after this pause.
From Indiana State University. Number 22, a guard, a 6'3" junior from Chicago, Illinois, Carl Nix. At the other guard, number 23, a 6'2.5" sophomore from Warsaw, Indiana, Steve Reed. Number 42, a forward, 6'7.5" junior from East St. Louis, Illinois, Alex Gilbert. At the other forward, number 40, a 6'8" junior from Rushville, Indiana, Brad Miley. Number 33, the center, a 6'9.5" senior from Fort Slick, Indiana, Larry Bird. And the head coach for the Sycamores, Bill Hodges.
As we were last week, so we are this week. We are snowed in Terre Haute, Indiana. But who cares? We've got a team that thinks it should be number one against a team that thinks it can win. Wichita State and Indiana State, two of the best. Wichita State in the black and gold. They've got gold fever. Host Indiana State in the white. Back to you at 33. That's the man, Larry Bird. Galosinski. The jump against Gilbert and Bird control. Feeds off to Carl Nix. 2 points. Down in the corner to Williams. And now loose, and the ball is knocked away by Reed. Kept in play by Gilbert. There you saw the passing ability of Larry Bird. Supposed to be the best passing forward in basketball in some time. Bird with the ball now. Williams is on him. They play man-to-man. Reed, number 23.
Jim, I believe we're going to see 100 points scored here today.
Brad Miley underneath. Nice block by Galosinski, but he's called with the foul. These teams are third and fourth in the nation in scoring.
So I wouldn't be surprised to see a combination of over 200 points.
It's happened before. Wichita State one time this year scored 125 against Drake. He shot first and good for Miley. It is 3-0. Miley, a 56% shooter. In actuality, the Sycamores are not a good free-throwing team. Missed that one. Ball bounces around, picked up. That is Williams that picked it up. Here's Wire. Very quick, seldom shoots. There's Kalasinski, and he'll be short. Bird goes up for the rebound, has the rebound over to Nick. Nick stopped. Gene Smithson wants walking called. The ball is lost and is picked up by Ryan. No place to feed it to, so he takes a rare shot. It's good. Ware gets it on the board. It's 3-2.
Good shot by Ronnie Raya, but I think he's carrying the ball in his dribble. I wouldn't be surprised to see the ref call palming.
Steve Reed, sophomore from Warsaw, Indiana. There's Nick's tough, physical man. Feeds off to Bird. Bird hasn't got a shot yet. Passes back to Nick. So good, and there's Miley. 5-2. Indiana State searching for number one.
Brad Miley scores a lot on garbage.
There's Steve Johnson handling the ball for the first time. Feeds over to Williams, but he's way short. That rebound is picked up on the bounce by Larry Bird. Question is, which team would be more tense? Indiana State on national television from their home for the first time. Wichita State trying to nail down third spot in the Missouri Valley Conference. Bird doesn't have any points yet. Neither does Chief Johnson. That'll all change before this is over. The ball is bouncing around and picked up by Fogel.
Thought Larry got a little fancy that time. An overhead pass.
Cheese Johnson, his first shot. Averaging 23 points a game.
You notice that hang time on Chief Johnson. He doesn't jump that high, but he can change his arms and his body in midair, changing the ball from hand to hand.
5-4 the score. Reed running things. Larry Bird, Whitten's on him. Bird hasn't gotten off the shot yet. Johnson is 1-for-1. Fade over Bird's head, and that's picked up by Chief Johnson. Ball is knocked away by Nick. It'll be a silver. There it is. 7-4.
It's a super dunk shot by Carl Nix. He's very quick. He has pro potential. He's Mr. Outside of this team.
Intercepted by Bird. Starts a fast break. No! That's 6 points. That's 9-4. And Carl Nix has 6 of the 9 points. Williams. Kalasinski looking for position underneath. Walking is called against John Williams. And Gene Smithson says timeout. Commonwealth gives it to him. 16:46 to go. Indiana State has broken on top and lead by 5. 9-4. Once this game is over, remember sports world to follow. Gymnastics from Romania. And motorcycle racing out in San Jose. Indiana State's ball in. There is Larry Bird. Has a couple of rebounds. Has turned the ball over once. Stolen the ball once. Has 1 assist, but hasn't taken a shot yet.
They'll be coming a little wild, Jim. Wichita started out with a light man-to-man press.
Miley on a great feed from Nick.
No, that doesn't count.
It doesn't count. Walking is called.
He obviously took 2 steps. Ryan Maley will take 2 small steps here. I'm not going to call them Chinese steps anymore because the people got offended when I did that last year.
Wire. Get the ball into Cheese Johnson. Up it goes. It's no good. Miley's got the rebound. Wichita State lost to Wichita State by 10. I'll repeat again. Cheese Johnson did not play in that game. But Shirley had a great game with 27 points. Driving, and that's going to be blocking charged against Fogel. That's the second team foul against Wichita State. Indiana State has none.
You watch Carl Nix. He fakes to the right, drives to the left. Bob Fogel stepped in with his leg, and it was a blocking foul.
Ball is fed past Larry Bird. He didn't even see it coming. Tried to be kept in by Miley. Went off his chest. And now Kalasinski throws the ball right by John Williams. So it's Indiana State's ball again. Al and I thought they would be a little tight here at the beginning. Perhaps a little, if you pardon the expression, sloppy at the beginning, and that's what we're seeing.
I thought it'd be sloppy because of all the build-up for the game. That usually happens with college kids.
Bird feeds across to Miley. Miley behind him to Nix, who takes a shot. 8 points for Carl Nix. And that's what they told us. Wichita State said, we know Bird's going to get his 30-plus. It's Nix that can kill us.
Yeah, they wanted to try to cut Nix off, but he's the son of a preacher in Chicago, and he's off good.
Reed. Make that Fogel, beg your pardon. to 6. Still a lot of time to go. 5 minutes haven't even gone by yet. Nix is shooting from everywhere. And Kalasinski goes up and gets the rebound over his partner, Richard Williams. Fire behind his back. Shot by Kalasinski, who can hit from out there and does. Kalasinski has his first 2 points. It's 11-8. Wichita State is gone within 3. And now Indiana State begins to slow it down just a little bit. As they bring the ball up court.
They were very patient.
Bird threw the ball away. Here's a snowbird for Cheese Johnson coming up. And all of a sudden it is close. Johnson has 4 points. It's 11-10. Wichita State in black. Indiana State in white. Another feed by Bird. That's intercepted by Cheese Johnson.
Richard Williams is doing a good job on covering Larry Bird. He's muscle. Flyer the flyer. He gets hot from the outside. Indiana State's in trouble.
And Wichita State now has the lead for the first time, 12-11. And Bird has had 2 passes, the last 2 times down court, intercepted. Gilbert with the ball, now Miley outside, underneath to Gilbert.
You know what happened that time, Jim? They're double teaming Larry underneath. And Gilbert just cut off and was free on the left-hand side for an easy layup. Beautiful pass.
Kalasinski on a nice feed. Vogel tries to go up. Battles with it. Ball taken away. Indiana State.
Everybody in Indiana State seems to know their role.
They pride themselves on being a team. And that's the first shot taken by Bird, and he's fouled by Richard Williams. In very quickly comes Ray Shirley, who had 27 points in that first game between.
Here's a good play here with Larry Bird. He's going up in the air. He knows he doesn't have the shot, but he lets it go anyway. Watch him. Picks up the 2-shot foul. See that? There's no chance of making it, but the ref is blowing the whistle. He makes it a 2-shot foul instead of a 1.
And misses. Larry Bird has missed. He's an 84% free throw shooter. Lawrence Howell comes in. Ryer comes out. And we told you that Ray Shirley has come in. Now the first substitution for Indiana State as Leroy Staley comes in and Gilbert comes out.
This Leroy Staley is a good ball player. He used to start, now he's the first sub. He lost 32 pounds this summer.
Bird trying for his first point and has it. It's 14-12. Indiana State undefeated. More first-place votes in both UPI and AP than any other team, but they've been rated no higher than second. They want to be first and figure they will be if they win today. Shirley gets the ball over to Williams, who takes the shot. And look at Larry Bird go up for the rebound.
Nice position. The big thing they got to do with Larry Bird is box him off the basket, off the backboard. They can't let him get in close.
Bird is 4th in the nation in rebounding, 2nd in the nation in scoring. Takes that fall-away shot. No good. Jump ball. It'll be between Howell, who went up very high, who just came into the game, and Staley of Indiana State, who also just came into the game. Staley, the taller man. Nice hit off. Larry Bird. No good.
That's a beautiful play by Brad Miley. He tapped the ball over to
Time is called. The tissue paper is on the court again. And right in that area, Al, we saw a lot of water coming through the roof this morning, through the vents up there. They had to get student volunteers to go out and put tarpaulins all over the roof.
Well, here you see the tap, the pass. See a nice tap pass there from Brad Miley. That was the reason for the basket. Larry was in perfect position for an easy 2.
Vogel. Bob Heaton is also in. Shot from outside by Howell, no good. Picked up by Cheese Johnson. Heaton is number 30 for Indiana State. Good shot. That's Richard Williams. His first 2 points. Their scoring is balanced, and it's 16-14. Heaton, number 30, is the man who took the 50-footer to tie the game with New Mexico State and sent it into overtime, and Indiana State won it. Larry Bird off the backboard. Getting into gear now with 5 points. It's 18-14. 12-20 to go.
They're starting to pick underneath, and both taking low pivot positions, and they're swinging for each other. Brad Miley swinging for Larry Bird.
Williams. Rebound is taken by Miley. Kalasinski's getting ready to come back in for Wichita State.
Miley told his coach, the junior, he says, Coach, I don't care how much they offer me, I'm going to come back next year.
Well, Nix throws the ball by Bob Heaton.
So He doesn't care what the offer is. He's coming back.
Time has been called. 12:03 to go, and Indiana State, caught at one juncture, now has a 4-point lead over Wichita State. Remember, next Saturday and Sunday, we have the Bay Hill Citrus Open coming your way with a $250,000 purse. Boy, they've been spreading around the winners' money this year, haven't they? That'll be Saturday and Sunday. And here's the other game that is going on in some parts of our country today. Kentucky out in front of South Carolina by 7. And remember, after our basketball is over today, you have Sports World. And after our basketball is over today for the second week in a row, Al and I are going to stay right where we are. It's snowing outside, folks. The airports are closed. And here we go again.
Where would I rather be than in Terre Haute, Indiana?
12:03 to go. Kobar has now come in for Wichita State number 10. That is Howell with the ball, 33. There's Cheese Johnson. Trying to get around Miley, takes the shot. He does. It is no good. Ball is tipped up and in, and I believe it goes to 25 Shirley. 18-16.
Ourselves a good game going here.
Al Nix almost walked with the ball. Larry Bird from the corner, off the front of the rim. Whistle blows, and who's pushing off?
John.
Number 10, that is Kobar, and that is the 14th foul. Indiana State hasn't had a foul called yet. There's Bill Hodges, took over from Bob King last October because of the athletic director at that time, head coach's illness. That is Nick, very tough. Look at him gang up on him, but Miley is loose underneath. 20-16, and a foul.
Here's a pass into Miley. Watch Bird get inside position there in case the shot is missed. They're overplaying Larry in there, and the fellas are sneaking in on the baseline.
Cheese Johnson picked up the foul. Miley is 1 for 2 from the line with a total of 5 points. Chance for a first three-point play. 20-16, Indiana State. And you get it, and it surely went way up and went out off the hands of Larry Bird.
How well-disciplined Indiana State is. Brad Miley will not take a shot more than 8 feet from the basket.
Howell with the basketball. Look at Johnson, that double pump, and look at Bird get the rebound. A couple of All-Americans.
Great move by Cheese Johnson that time.
Larry Bird, there's Miley outside, and there's Nix. He's been deadly, but not this time. Look at the pass from Bird after the rebound. Whistle underneath. No basket. Tom Richards, the referee, calls it on number 25. That is Shirley.
Watch this tip here. It's an unbelievable tip, and watch the pass there. What happens with Larry Bird, and speaking to him earlier, I asked what's the first thing he looks for when he goes in the air. He said, I first look to pass, then I look to shoot after that.
Very unselfish player and unselfish in his attitude as he talks.
Well, Coach Gene Smithson, the way he's playing, coaching this game today, he's going to allow Larry to have his 25, 30 points. He wants to stop everybody else. That's why they're overplaying Carl Nix, but Nix has got out of the gate real fast.
Bird from the corner. 7 points. Is he the best collegiate player in the country? Many people say he certainly is.
Well, he certainly is smooth. He never gets flustered.
Howell, that's Kobar over the corner. And he's walking with the basketball. Turnover. Up by 6, that's the 5th turnover. Charge against Wichita State, and very quickly Trogel is up and will come back in, and Ryer is up and will come back in. They're the starting guard. All over town. It is something to see. We told you banks have signs out saying, welcome NBC. They've taken out ads in the newspapers welcoming NBC, and they had a basketball announcer popularity poll. They gave Al McGuire 80,000 votes and Billy Packer none.
Billy was in the minus pool.
Number 44 is Staley. There's Reed, and there's Heaton. He's a competitor. Now Staley from outside. That'll be short. Staley got his own rebound. Puts it up. That'll be long. And now a foul's going to be called. And I believe it's going to be called against Heaton. And if it is, that's what it is. That would be the first foul called today against an Indiana State player.
Bob Heaton cleared out with his left arm on the rebound. He had good position. I don't know why he did it. He's a transfer from Denver. He didn't stay at Denver because he said the school didn't have that much interest in their basketball program.
Folks out in the Mile High City happy to hear you say that.
Well, that's what he told me.
Jump ball. Richard Williams didn't get rid of the ball quick enough. 5 seconds, still jumping. Williams looks at Gilbert, his counterpart, and put his hands to his head like he's going to shoot himself.
You know, the surprising thing about Indiana State, they have 3 junior college, 2 major college transfers, and 2 high school recruits. That makes up their starting 7.
Quick feed into Bird, who stops and shoots over Williams. In and out, and Kalasinski is there for the rebound.
No facial expression on Larry Bird at all. No matter what, the ball goes in or goes out.
Sees Johnson trying to get by and does, and it counts. That was a foul.
Watch here. Bird tries to turn around and help on Cheese Johnson. He doesn't get there in time. Cheese goes up and does his usual jackknife moves, an automatic 2 points, maybe a 3-point play.
Staley draws the foul. It is now 22-18, and Cheese Johnson, who is 6 points off from the floor, has a chance for a 3-point play. He's averaged 25 points per ball game the last 6 ball games he's played in, and drops it through. Al McGuire will tell you shooting foul shots is nothing more than concentration. A little bit of talent. Intercepted. There's Krogel. They've got 2-on-1. Heaton covering up, but Krogel lays it in. And Krogel is going to be called with a charging foul. And it does count. Krogel draws his foul, and that's his 7th foul.
It was a nice play. Watch, he keeps his head up. Reed holds his ground there, gets called for the charge, but he released the ball first, so the basket counts, and it goes down the other end, the 1-1, because they're in the 7th foul. And they're in it real early. There's 9:20 left to go to this half, so Wichita State's going to have a problem there. Indiana State only has 2 team fouls.
At the line is Steve Reed, a sophomore out of Warsaw. Leads the team in assists, does not shoot too much. A 68% foul, sort of a lunch play. Larry Bird, followed by Nick. 10 points, 24-21. 9:10 to go, first half. Indiana State, I'm sure you know, undefeated, 25 consecutive wins. Feels they should be number 1. Look at the ball. Well, it's been fast. Kalasinski couldn't handle it.
It's been 31 years since anyone in Missouri Valley went through undefeated. Undefeated teams are really gone with the Dinosaurs and the Buffaloes, in my opinion.
Well, there's going to be a blocking foul call. And that's going to be against Williams. That is his 2nd. Krogel has 2. And remember, we're in the 1-on-1 situation. Larry Bird with 7 points is 1 for 2 from the line. 25-21.
What Larry wants to do is get to the NCAA tournament. That's his dream.
I think his dream is going to come true.
And he turned down an awful lot of money and an awful lot of prestige. He made a move to stay on at Indiana State after being drafted number 6 by the Boston Celtics. I've heard that Red Auerbach's been down here 2 times this year watching him play.
I don't blame him.
He better rent a room down here.
They're pointing at Alex Gilbert for that foul. Snowing outside. Indianapolis Airport, which is about an hour away, has already been closed in. And for that reason, you may see some empty seats here, but make no mistake about it, it is a sellout. It's just that a lot of people were coming from Gene Smith's hometown of Paris, Illinois. Others were coming from Brunswick, Indiana. Some of them may not have been able to get here. Williams had a little trouble with his hands there, but holds on to it. Krogel off the front, and Miley saved it just from going out.
Off a pass from the baseline, Indiana State went into a 2-3 zone then.
Wichita State staying in that man-for-man. Krogel is the best defensive man. Reed, one of his rare shots. He only averages 4.5 points a game. Now has 3. Indiana State leads by 7.
But he sacrifices himself for the team. In high school, he averaged 27 points a game.
Cheese Johnson knocks it through.
That was all net that time.
9 points for Cheese Johnson. If you're keeping score, 9 points for Larry Bird. 28-23. Underneath. Ball is thrown away. Cheese Johnson, 1-on-1, feeds off the hands of Krogel, and Williams keeps it in. Fine play by Williams. Kalasinski will be short. Larry Bird will get the rebound and start the fast break. Wire covers up on Nick. Has the ball knocked away from him. And they're going to call a foul on Wire, who doesn't think so, nor does his coach.
Ronnie Ryan did a nice job defensively there. It looked like he sticked his hand, and I had the wrong angle to call whether it was a foul or not. Bird in the middle kicks it out. Now here comes Carl Nix. Nice defense by Ryer. And he put his hand in, he caught his wrist, so a good call by the officials.
Larry Bird is coming out. He has 6 rebounds and 9 points. That is Carl Nix has a total of 10 points. It is at the line for the first time. 1-1, remember, this has been hurting Wichita State throughout this first half, and we still have nearly 8 minutes to go.
What they did with Carl Nix in his freshman year, he wasn't getting any playing time. So they turned around, they told him to go down to a junior college for a year, which he did, and he averaged 22 points a game. And he came back this year, and he ends up being a starter and really being the Mr. Outside. Something like Glenn Davis years ago at West Point, Mr. Outside, Mr. Inside with Blanchard. That was football.
Cheese Johnson ball is batted away. Fast break started, and there's Nix. Oh.
Good try by Carl Nix.
Vogel feeds underneath. Cheese Johnson. No good. Heaton gets the rebound. Fans wanted a walking call there. 7-10. They're getting Shirley up to come back in for Wichita State. Nix is free for the shot. 13 points, Carl Nix. 8-point lead, 7 minutes to go. Shirley coming in, time is out. 7:01 to go. Wichita State and Indiana State, and the Sycamores lead by 8.
Some of my best clients I've had for...
Al McGuire picks Indiana State #1, but he also picks Notre Dame to win the NCAA. And next Sunday, Notre Dame will be on display for most of you against Michigan. Some of you will see Marquette, your old team, out against University of Nevada at Las Vegas.
Marquette dropped a tough one last night. Congratulations to Ray Meyer. They lost by a point to DePaul. That's Chicago. So tournament time's coming, and I think DePaul and Marquette and Notre Dame, all independents, are looking forward to being invited.
I watched your faces. They told you what happened in the hotel lobby this morning. It wasn't very nice. Feed in underneath, almost gets away from Ryer. Larry Bird is getting ready to come back in. That is Shirley, double-teamed over there and gets the ball out. And there's going to be a charging foul against Nix. Fans go wild, but that's a good call.
It was a very good call by Tom Richards, the umpire. Carl Nix was in the air, couldn't change direction. Now watch it. The pass comes out from Cheese Johnson. Carl Nix intercepts the ball, but the other man had position. He was planted there. That was Trogel, Bob Trogel.
Kentucky leads South Carolina in another televised game today with a little less than 6 minutes to go, 33-24. Cheese Johnson, look at the move, but he couldn't get the ball away, and Bird, who's just come into the game, has the rebound, and he now has 7. He's 4th in the nation in rebounding. 31-23. Indiana State by 8. Larry Bird. Man, he's forcing that shot.
Yeah, I'm surprised at that.
Forced that shot. Now Reed will take one of his rare ones off the backboard. He's going to have to stop saying one of his rare ones. He now has 4 points. A 10-point lead for the Sycamores of Indiana State. Gunning for an undefeated season and #1 ranking in the nation. Galosinski gets it away, and that's a bad shot. Off to the side. Gilbert comes down with the rebound, and things are getting out of hand here as far as Wichita State is concerned.
They had to be a little bit more patient. They got to post up Cheese underneath.
Bird over Shirley, in and out, and rebound by Shirley. Cheese Johnson is walking with the basketball. And Richard Williams comes back in.
Here's Bird on this last shot. He didn't have complete balance in there. He kind of forced it a little bit. He might be pressing a little bit. Turns. Well, he had the shot. I was wrong. He kind of get an Emmy for falling down that time. He wasn't.
Look at Nix drive by everybody and then miss, and Shirley comes down with a rebound. Ray Shirley had 27 points against Indiana State the first time he met. That's Ryer. The ball is going to be taken away from him by Reed. And with that, Howell gets up, and let's see if Ryer comes out. Bird from way outside. 11 points. 12-point lead. That's the biggest of the game.
He's unbelievable from the outside. That's about 22 feet out, that last shot.
Shirley driving, and he is held as he goes by. Howell will come in. It is Ryer that's coming out. After having the ball stolen away from him, Ronnie Ryer is out of the ball game. And in goes Lawrence Howell, the senior.
That's the 5th foul on team foul on Indiana State now.
That's the 2nd on Gilbert.
They're in a 2-3 zone. Indiana State at the present time.
Foul, and there's Richard Williams. Goes to the basket. Foul. And I believe that's Gilbert again. And if it is, that's his third. That's who it is.
Watch Richard Williams get the ball. He'll go up. He'll double pump on it. Keeps his head up there. Lays it up nice. Good hanging time. The ball doesn't go in. He'll end up with a 2-shot foul. And from now on, both teams are in a 1-on-1 after this.
Bob Heaton checks in, and Gilbert now with 3 personal fouls comes out. Richard Williams at the line for the first time, drops it through. He's a 66% foul shooter.
Kids call him Yogi. After Yogi Bear.
10-point difference now. Wichita State, half-hearted press. Cross court, he is cross court at plenty of time. Nick Straley wants to shoot the ball, and that goes right off the hand on the pass of Chief Johnson and out of bounds.
If they have a fault, Indiana State, which is a beautiful fault, Jim, they overpass. They're constantly looking to hit one of their teammates, which is a nice concept, but I just think they do too much of it. They try to force that ball underneath.
Well, as Bill Hodges told us, if we do have a complaint from anybody, they say we just pass too many times. There's Bird. Oh, wow, he's in gear now. That's 13 points. And a 12-point lead again. Ball knocked up by Reed away from Howell. He's a thorn in their side. The guard plays Wichita State.
Oh,
look at Bird!
Oh. The thing on that, Jim, was the way Bird handled that pass. That was not a good pass. He reached up with his right hand and brought it down. Watch this pass from Paul Nix coming down. It's not a good pass. It's too fancy. He reached up and controlled the ball, comes in the back door, loses his balance a little bit, and kicks it up with a backward spin with his left hand.
Shirley draws the foul.
There from the other side, what a beautiful catch of the pass. Kicks it up backwards, picks up a 2-shot foul, made his first.
After missing his first, Bird is now hit on 4 straight from the foul line. And has a total of 14 points. This can make it 15 after a very slow start. 39-25, a 14-point difference. Indiana State is saying, hello there, pollsters. Are you watching us?
Larry Bird doesn't care if he scores. It's just a beautiful ball play.
Cheese Johnson was posted high there, but misses the shot, and it goes out of bounds into a jump ball. All right, 4:02 to go. Gene Smithson of Wichita State is understandably upset. His team is having trouble. They've fallen behind by 14 points with 4 minutes and 2 seconds to go, first half. Jim Simpson, Al McGuire, and the Indiana State University student body reminding you that Sports World is coming up next. There was Romanian Gymnastics Championships. Under Arnaud will be there. It's a women's championship. Amelia Eberly, have you heard of her? Outstanding, 14 years old, and also motorcycle racing. Next week, Marquette and the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, one of our games, and most of you will see Notre Dame and Michigan. Jump ball. Indiana State has outscored Wichita State 13-4 in the last 4 minutes. All belongs to Wichita State.
You say Indiana State stepped into the circle too soon.
Progel will throw it in. Progel comes from Germany. He came here when he was 8 years old, speaking not a word of English, and now he's playing a very American game invented up at Springfield, Massachusetts, basketball.
And his father's a New York cop.
You like that. There's Shirley from outside, in and out. Tough luck there for Shirley. Progel follows and puts it in. That's 6 points for Bob Progel. 39-27. Reed having an outstanding game, bringing the ball up court. Here's Nix with all those points he's got. 13 up. Riley. And Larry Bird, double team, ball knocked away out of bounds by Chief Johnson. Somebody wants a foul.
No, I don't think it's a foul that time. It's an excellent ball by Ray Sonnenberg underneath the basket.
Larry Bird, and I tell you, Shirley said, look, I just had my arm up. What's going on here? That's foul number 3 for Ray Shirley, who had that outstanding game with 27 points in their first meeting.
Well, obviously, that was when Cheese Johnson didn't play. Cheese had a sprained ankle. Shirley's nickname is Bones. You can tell by his build where he got it from.
1-1 for Bird. That's 6 in a row from the foul line, and that's 16 points for Larry Bird. Kalasinski comes in, and Shirley will come out for Wichita State. Well, there's the man that you've seen on the magazine covers of not only sporting publications, but also news publications across America. Number 1 draft choice, 6-man, followed up, and it's in and out. The shot taken by Staley, no good. The 6-man pick last year when he had a year to go by the Boston Celtics. Al has already told you that. Celtics have until June 24th to sign it. Kalasinski gets a shot off, in and out. Kalasinski hustling, follows it, and banks it in.
Kalasinski's a hard player. He stays with the game all the way through. And speaking to him yesterday, he says, I'm 100% Polish.
3 minutes, 5 seconds to go. Sycamores of Indiana State up by 11, playing at home. They'll play at home here on Tuesday night. Larry Bird, ball knocked away, and Richard Williams says, me? That's his 3rd personal foul. Gene Smithson was described as very calm and can leave the game here. There's Bill Hodges. He's not being so calm today. Someone asked how Bill Hodges handles the press after a game. They said beautifully. He's never lost in his head coaching career. He's terrific.
There's only one of the coaches that happened to was Lou Rossini. He came on to Columbia University years ago, and they went through the season 22-0. And their first game in the NCAA, they lost to Illinois.
Eric Kuhn has come in, number 45. By the way, did you know that John Wooden coached here at Indiana State for 2 years? Last year, including tournament, he was 27-7. 17 points, Larry Bird, first half.
Coach Wooden went right from here to UCLA.
Whistle blows again, and they've called time again. 2:57 to go. Well, we have a Sports World coming up, and it's a great show for you today. Immediately following our basketball, and let's take a quick look at what they've got to offer today. Gene Smithson talking to his Wichita State team, which at the moment, and there's a lot of time left, is being blown out. They'll trail by 13 with 2:57 to go. They've got to slow it down a little bit, as you said, Al, and get some organization going and play patiently. There's a lot of time left.
I don't think their fast break is completely under control. The new coach hasn't had enough time to put in the system. He hasn't recruited his own ball players. But any team with Cheese Johnson is capable of turning on at any moment. I think they should be coming out soon with a hard man-to-man press against Indiana State.
Ryer is back in. Fogel is in. And there's the man on the far side, Kuhn, who just came in. He is a freshman out of Wichita, and he's got 2 points.
Well, here's that press I was talking about, but I don't think it's tenacious enough. They seem to be just toking it. No, they're a little more tenacious now. Let's see if they turn it over.
Eric Kuhn could say, my first shot I ever took against Indiana State on national television, I made it. There's a hook by Heaton, no good, and this will be picked up by Ryer. Let's see if he slows it down and gets a little patient now. He will, with 2:15 to go. Feed in, there's Cheese Johnson. And it's good, and it's a foul.
That's a hairline foul. This Cheese gets the ball. Larry's in back from, kind of holds his ground. He might have stomached him. It looks like he might have just hipped him a little bit as he went up in the air. If you get the ball in the Cheese Johnson, you can stay in any college basketball game.
Johnson hits it. 3-point play. That's his second 3-point play. It's 42-34, down by 8 now. They're back in the ball game. At halftime of the Kentucky-South Carolina game, or other televised game, Kentucky at the half, up by 5, 37-32. Heaton to Miley. Bird's loose on this side of the basket. Nobody near him. But Dixon's going to take a shot from way outside. It is no good. Picked up. Wrestled away from Bird. And the man, impetus, Kalasinski just takes him out of bounds. Reed will come in, and Staley will go out.
Ball gets down low. Kalasinski's a very hard-nosed basketball player. He carried the ball out with him. He wrestled away from Larry Bird.
Bird almost lost that ball out of bounds. Now takes a shot. Oh, my. Oh, my.
There's one in your face. Wow. It seems that the further out he is, the more high percentage he puts the ball in.
20 points for Larry Bird first half. Fogel tries to get it into Kalasinski, who drops it in. Kalasinski just does not give up. That's 6 points. Still an 8-point deficit. Wichita State is in this ball game.
Kalasinski's changed his number to 00 because he's a reborn Christian and he wanted everything changed going into his senior year.
That shot of Bird's was partially blocked, Now Heaton goes up, and he may be fouled by Cheese Johnson.
Here's where you catch Larry Bird. Watch him put the ball in the face there, fake it in the face, then now watch him shoot it. Unbelievable. You know how far away that is? That's in left field.
It's 1-1, remember. Cheese Johnson has picked up his second foul. This is Heaton. Bob Heaton has his first point.
They really should take Cheese Johnson out now. There's 1 minute and 16 seconds left rather than take a chance on picking up his third foul.
Foul is the type that takes you out in the first half if you only got 2 fouls.
I would normally. I'd take
Look
you out.
Look at that move by Cheese Johnson and the score.
I believe after the ball player gets 4 fouls, he knows it and he changes his style of play. So I never save the ball player after 4 fouls. I save him the first half after 2, the second half after 3.
4 points.
Watch Cheese Johnson's move down. He comes up, hangs a minute, and just pumps it up off the backboard. He almost plays all the shots off the glass, which is rare.
I think that is on Cheese Johnson again. That's his third. That's why you would have taken him out?
Yeah, I think it was a tactical error there.
Malasinski. All right, 50 seconds to go. 46-38. Did they play for 1 shot? Now with Cheese Johnson, he throws it too far. Picked up as Heaton dropped the ball. They've got 2-on-1. Reed loses the ball out of bounds. 38 seconds to go.
Taking Cheese out now, Jim. I really thought they should have taken him out with 1:16. There's 38 seconds left. The score's 46-38, 8-point spread. I think they're going to play for 1 shot. Look to go in with a 6 points down or 8 points down. They don't want to go in double digits down.
Uh-oh. Wire almost palmed that ball.
I noticed that early in the game.
Krogel is free and puts it in. That's 8 points for Bob Krogel. 20 seconds to go, and now a 6-point lead. It was a big lead of 12 points. They've cut that in half. Reed's having quite a game. Leads that ball. Bird goes up and puts it in. Get out your calculators, men. They better put this up. Better put it up. He does and scores.
What a nice
1 second to go. Krogel puts it in.
What a nice play by Krogel behind his back dribble.
How about that? It's only a 6-point bulge. At one time, it was 12 points. At the half, Indiana State driving for what they hope will be number 1. Wichita State driving for sole place or 3rd place. In the Missouri Valley Conference, it's 48-42 Indiana State.
It's catch-up.
Well, earlier today, the Soviets came, saw, and conquered Louisville 91-76. And they are, according to Al McGuire, are favorites for the gold medal in the 1980 Olympic Games. That's part of our college basketball report, which is coming up in a moment. But now let's pause for these messages from your local stations. We told you it's snowing outside, or did we say that last week? I think we said it last week. Snowing so much that Dave Gavitt, who was the Olympic coach for 1980, couldn't make it. He got as far as Chicago. That's the end of the line. We're going to talk about Dave Gavitt and the Olympics in a moment. But this is Indiana State. You say they should be rated number 1. They feel they are number 1. And nearly everybody says that Larry Bird is the best college player in the country today. We've watched a half. What do you think, Al McGuire?
I think that Larry Bird is the best ball player in the country. What I can see, I haven't seen them all. What he does, he spreads throughout the whole team. A player that has this type of charisma, the whole team is a part of Larry Bird. He's an unselfish person. He passes well, so the whole team's unselfish, and the whole team passes. He has the whole package. He can shoot. He can post up from the outside. And his court sense is so important. So I think that they'll go deep into the NCAA. I don't know if they'll get to the Final Four because their bench is questionable. Injuries have to stay away, and the last shot got to go in. I personally think they're a little bit sloppy because they're trying to impress the national audience at the present time.
You know what got me was the play of Steve Reed. I did not expect to see that kind of play, but we're going to talk about that later. Dave Gavitt of Providence College, Dave Gavitt of the U.S. Olympic team, was to be here. As we said, he's snowed in Chicago. We're going to be snowed in here tonight. But what about the Olympic team? What is it going to take for us to win in 1980? Al McGuire's got some ideas of his own, but let's look at some other coaches around the country, including Dave Gavitt.
College basketball is being brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer, who invite you to see.
a super safe.
48-42 Indiana State. The first half statistics summarized by Al.
Well, they're both shooting the same percentage from the field, 51%, which is excellent shooting. The difference in the score is the amount of foul shots made, where even though Wichita State shooting 100%, the other team has made 8 more foul shots. Bird is obviously leading with 22 points and 1 personal foul, with Nix with 13 points. Johnson's 14, and Trogo surprisingly has 10 points. The big problem here is the foul situation. Three of the ball players have 3 fouls on them on Wichita State.
Johnson, Williams, and Shirley. Kalasinski jumping against Gilbert, and it's controlled by Cheese Johnson. At one time, it was 39-25 Indiana State. Over the last few minutes of the first half, Wichita State outscored them 17-9. Kalasinski's shot goes in and out, and that is knocked out of bounds, and they thought it was by Gilbert. But they award the ball to Indiana State. Now Nix throws it into Bird. Nix is 22, Bird is 33, Gilbert 42, Miley 40, and Steve Reed 23. Trogo 23, Williams 44, Cheese Johnson from outside. Shot taken by Nix. Williams 44 has it. Kalasinski's double O.
Colin Nix's trajectory was real low that time.
Ryer bounce past Kalasinski, has to fade, to pass the ball up, and that's a good play. Cheese Johnson now has 16 points. And all of a sudden, it is a 4-point ball game with almost the full second half to go.
You get the ball in low to Cheese Johnson, and he'll keep Wichita State in any basketball game.
Reed, who had an outstanding first half, stealing the ball, running the club from backcourt. There's Gilbert. There's Reed. He took some shots, feeds in underneath to Miley, who stuffs the ball against the underside of the basket, feeds it off to Bird. Back to Gilbert for the shot. No good, and Williams has the rebound. Wire did a nice job turning away from still throwing the. Look at that. Goaltending or not. Oh, they did not call goaltending. Gene Smithson is furious right in front of us.
Yeah, it was a close call.
Reed underneath Gilbert. They lost their concentration. Bird goes up and puts it in. 24 points Bird. Had a chance there to tie it and couldn't do it. They thought they had tied it. Feed in to Trogo, who puts it in. Yes, sir. Trogo now has 12 points. And again, 50-46.
Game's a little sloppy at the present time. They've got to get back into their continuity.
Ball is thrown out of bounds by Reed. And Nix is saying, hey, I was going that way. Reed threw it behind him, and now they have a consultation in the middle of the floor. And Bill Hodges sits down, the coach of Indiana State.
And no one came out to help Steve Reed that time.
Williams pumps, knocked away by Gilbert. Ball is off Nix, but he controls it.
Super J means super jump.
Nix forces the ball inside, and the foul is on whom? Big question here because Williams has got 3 already. It's on Kalasinski. That is his second. Early in the first half, Wichita State was in deep foul trouble. They committed 7 personal fouls in a hurry, and Indiana State was able to rack up a lot of one-and-ones. Carl Nix puts it off the knee of Kalasinski, not about.
Carl Nix is a real hard-nosed ball player. Constantly puts out 100%.
Oh, look at that pass into Bird. And Bird now has 26.
Caught them sleeping. Also, Wichita's playing a man-to-man, which is a no-no, from out of bounds underneath.
Kalasinski shooting over Bird and dropping it in. Don't get off Steve Kalasinski, the senior from Burnham, Illinois. He's been tough when the going has been tough. Bird takes the shot way long and taken down by Cheese Johnson. Here's Trogo, stops, takes the shot, in and out. Bird is all the way back down court to get the rebound and dribbles behind his back. 10 rebounds for Bird, who in his career has averaged 13. He's averaged 30 points a game in his career.
Well, he plays a thinking game. He's always in perfect position for rebounds and layups.
And he's going to take the shot from outside. It is no good, and Bird's got the rebound. That's 11. Ball goes out of bounds off the hands of Cheese Johnson.
Johnny Ryer did take a bad shot that time. He had 2 men free underneath. He should have pulled up and pulled the defensive man out on him.
Second half, 46-38. Kentucky leads South Carolina. Our score 52-48, 16:40 to go. Indiana State on national television from home for the first time. Nix loses the ball to Kalasinski. They almost close it away. They got 3-on-1 again. 14 points for Trogo, 52-50. Wichita State climbs right back into the ball game.
Don't forget the Stroger's also covering Carl Nixon on the other end, so he's playing both ends of the court.
There's Reed. Time is called, and called by Bill Hodges of the Sycamores of Indiana State.
Good timeout.
16-14 to go. It was a 6-point difference, as you can see. There's only a 2-point difference. This Sports World is next, and remember, we're on the Sports World show, Romanian National Championships in Bucharest, including Amelia Eberle. That's the young 14-year-old that they say will replace Nadia Comaneci. Reed with the basketball. Miley. There is Reed. Al Nix in the corner. We will be picking. There's Nix taking a shot. Doesn't go down. Ball goes out of bounds and belongs to Wichita State. Started to say we'll be picking the MVP of this game. $1,000 for that player's school from Gillette, and a letter to him. And right now, Wichita State, trailing by 14 in the first half, could tie it here in the second half. Keith Johnson does not get the shot away. Kalasinski surely gets the shot away, way short, and look who's there. Bird, and boy, an elbow goes right in Trogo's face. Gilbert has to slow it up. Nobody else is down. All 5 state players were down, but only Gilbert from Indiana State.
They're going to start posting up Larry Bird.
Reed, oh, no. That's only 6 points for him, but he's played an outstanding game. 54-50.
When Bradley put 2 men on Larry Bird, Reed got 19 points.
Blocking called against Reed. That is his first personal foul. Here is Wire trying to go by, and you will see Reed still moving. He did not have position and draws the blocking foul. Good call. Well, there's the ball in and out by Kalasinski, and guess who got the rebound? With 14, Larry Bird. And the Sycamores can go up by 6 now. They cut it to 2, Wichita State. Larry Bird pumps, fakes. No good. No foul call. Foul call underneath. And it's going to be called, I believe, on Gilbert. Out from 33, Bird. That'll be his second.
He's faking the pump. He's looking for the foul. He doesn't get it, but now watch how he fouls his shot right into the basket, which is a rare talent. Not too many ball players have that, and he does commit the foul.
Wire. Outside the Trogo. Kalasinski can't beat over Bird. Been tough to get inside for Wichita State throughout the entire game. Keith Johnson forces that shot, and there's the man, Larry Bird. What's that, 15? 15.
How many guys 22 years of age got a street named after them in their hometown? French Lick, Indiana is named a boulevard after Larry Bird.
6-point lead. Ball is thrown back court. Belongs to Indiana State. 14:09 to go. Yeah, there's a 3-block stretch of a street near Larry Bird's old high school in French Lick, Indiana, and it's called Larry Bird Boulevard.
3 blocks is like 2 miles in New York. There's only 1,800 people live there.
They must have heard it. Time called by Gene Smith from that 28 points for Bird. They had it down to 2, and now it's up to 8. Indiana State was leading 52-50 and have reeled off 6 straight points. 14 minutes to go. Indiana State driving for number 1.
Very, very patient. Now he'll swing over to the weak side. He'll get the ball with no maximum effort. He just turns around, puts up with his right hand off the glass.
Next weekend, sorry Al, next weekend we've got the Bay Hill Golf. That's Arnold Palmer's. Look at that. Kalasinski lost the ball off his own hand. Bay Hill Golf next Saturday, Sunday here on NBC, and Gene Smithson has to be a little curious. He's had a case on several occasions today of his players not being able to handle a pass.
Wichita State got to stop him here.
Miley outside. Nix, he had a great early part of the play. Oh my, here comes Larry Bird again. He's going to put it. Nope, can't get it away. And they did stop him. Keith Johnson with the ball. Keith Johnson, nice feed to Ryer, puts it in. 6 points to Ryer and a 6-point difference in the game.
That's an excellent pass.
13 and a half minutes left. Here's Nix. Wire tries to knock it away, but Nix takes the shot. 4 points in this half, 17 altogether. Again, the 8-point lead. Lots of time left.
Nix has that Ricky Green quickness. So he used to play for Michigan State.
Golosinski misses this shot. Heaton has the rebound. 13 minutes left. Terre Haute and Indiana State have gone wild. They've been waiting for this day to go undefeated. They'd win their 26th in a row. Larry Bird from way outside. Oh.
Unbelievable outside shooter. Reminds me of Brad Holland from UCLA.
96-9. There's Shirley from outside. No good. Oh, there's a foul call on Nix there. He is physical.
Oh, he plays hard.
He really leveled Trogel, and the fans don't think he did.
Bill Hodges said he's the hardest-nosed player I ever had, and he's the most intense one I've ever been around. Here he goes up here. Now watch him come in, and he'll swing his elbows here, which is illegal, and that's where the foul was created.
Outside, there's a shot in and out. Controlled by Golosinski, who misses, and Bird gets the rebound and has it knocked out of bounds.
Larry Bird sets the standards. He sets the criterion for Indiana State. 2-3 zone right now.
There's C. Johnson. No good. Above the rim.
All right,
Above the rim was Shirley.
They're calling it offensive rebound. Offensive interference. Here goes a shot up by Cheese. Now watch Shirley come in. Right there. It's offensive rebound. His hand got over the rim. That's why the ball was in the cylinder.
10-point difference, 62-52. Indiana State has scored in spurts. Oh, here's a long one again. 32 points, Larry Bird.
Red Auerbach better live down here the next couple of months.
Gilbert got carried away, and that's his 4th personal foul. Tobar is getting up to come in for Wichita State. 12-point lead at one time in the first half. Wichita State was down by 14.
Wichita State has the knack of coming back into ball games. They're down by 14, got it back to 2. Against Bradley, when they lost last week, they were down by 16 and got it back to 2.
Richard Williams comes in front court at 6'7". Shirley also 6'7", goes out.
You know, the teams inside the Missouri Valley are Bradley, Creighton, Drake, Southern Illinois, West Texas State, New Mexico State, and Tulsa.
Trogel forces a shot. Whistle underneath.
Commissioner of the conference is Mickey Holmes. He's been commissioner for 7 years. The 9 schools are located in 8 different states.
Foul is on Brad Miley. That's his first. And there are 5 team fouls now against Indiana State and only 1 against Wichita State. Now there's that hand problem I told you that Wichita State's been having. They've lost the ball several times on passes. Now,
let's see this call. No, I don't know.
Look at that. Dave Smithson is all the way up the end of the court. Saying, how can it be?
I thought Kobar was down to the ground before he laid the ball on him.
12-point lead. They can make it 14 again. 11 and a half minutes to go. Staley with the basketball. Heaton. Bird is in the low post. Nix driving. Forces the shot. Bird comes up with it. Puts it up. And it is good. Golosinski draws the foul. That's his 3rd.
You know, Larry Bird has everything. If he lacks something, it's foot quickness. Here comes Carl Nix in. He puts it up, it gets hung, it's blocked. Larry gets it. He doesn't jump that high here. 4th time, he turns around and puts up a dying swan left-hand hook shot. Here he comes in isolation on Larry Bird. Here it is. Now watch this dying swan hook shot. Doesn't jump too high, 4 or 5 inches. Keeps his eye on the rim. Bang. Just made it a 3-point play, and they're up by 15.
35 points for Larry Bird, and a 15-point lead. That's the biggest lead of the game. At one time, it was 52-50, and since that time, Indiana State has scored 15-2 for Wichita State. second. That's number 44, Staley. That's his second.
I asked Dick Versailles, the coach at Bradley, what he thought of Larry Bird, and he said, one step slow, maybe two. Doesn't jump that well, but he's simply the best basketball player in America because he has a great heart.
Kalosinski to the line for the first time and doesn't even barely touch the rim.
Lack of concentration. He'll bottom this one out, but...
Nope, sure of both of them, but controlled by Kalosinski. Sees Johnson. Wow, what a move. No, it's again offensive rebounding. The same thing happened again.
This is going to be a real close call. Watch Cheese Johnson put it up in a low trajectory. Bounces in there hard. Kalosinski comes up, and the ref was right. It was offensive interference.
15-point lead, 11 minutes to go. Sports World to follow. Indiana State hoping it's a 30-point lead. They're looking for number one in the nation. Pass off. Staley from the side. No good. Guess who's there? You got it. Very good. 15 rebounds. 15 points in this half. 37 altogether. 69-52. Vogel. There's still a lot of time left. 4.5 minutes. Kalosinski knocks it through. 69-54.
Steve Kalosinski's playing a tough game out there. He's keeping Wichita State reasonably in the ballgame.
Larry Bird. Dixie loves to drive. There's Heaton. He's a clutch shooter. 4 points for Bob Heaton. 71-54.
They call him Cowboy because he wears a cowboy hat around campus all the time.
Kalosinski gets it away. Drops it through again. Well, around the country, I'm sure you're watching and thinking of teams like UCLA, Notre Dame. There's a charge, I do believe, against Knicks. All of the top-rated teams around the country, Duke, North Carolina. That's Knicks' third. What do you think of Indiana State now? Make your own judgment. You're seeing the same thing Al and I are seeing.
They're tough. When you go on the road and win at New Mexico, win at Bradley, beat the Salukis down in Carbondale, Illinois, they beat Purdue by 10 points. They beat Russia when Russia beat Purdue, Notre Dame, and Indiana in November. This is not a fluke. This is a ball game.
Vogel, good-looking shot. Vogel has 16 points, 71-58. It's a 13-point lead again, and still 9.5 minutes to go. Steve Reed, Kobar's on him. Heaton, tough competitor, feeds it into Steve Johnson. All of a sudden, here comes Wichita State again. They'll go away.
Cheese, post up underneath this.
That's what he's trying to do now, but the shot is taken from outside and the whistle blows. And it may be some water. Nope. 44, that will be Staley. That'll be his third personal foul. And time has been called. 9:15 left in the game. Thus far, after being 52-50, Indiana State has turned it on, but it's not over yet.
I don't just drive race cars. I know what goes on inside an engine, too. That's why I use Haviland 10W40. It was tested in state trooper cars for protection. And in a test against the leading 10W40 oil advertising extra gasoline mileage, Haviland couldn't be beaten. Whether you have your oil changed at a Texaco station or
if you do it yourself.
Right. Do it with trooper-tested, mileage-tested.
That's our lineup for next Saturday afternoon, our final weekend of regular season college basketball before we move on to the tournament. 1-1. Now it is Indiana State that is in foul trouble. And Shirley drops it through. And he'll get the bonus shot. 9:15 to go.
You know, Indiana State with the lead doesn't have to be that aggressive, so the 1-1 is not really that important. They should try to pick up their own fouls now. There's only 2 on Wichita State. Now that's a quick call. It's a good call, I think.
9 minutes to go down in South Carolina. Columbia 61-53 Kentucky, and Kentucky is beginning to peak at the right time of the year.
Well, last year they didn't want a conference tournament. This year they're pleased to have one.
71-59. Reed is double teamed. There's Bird loose. Oh my! And he passes. Look at Staley, and he misses the shot. What a pass by Bird. Fast break. Wichita State. Wire will hold it up. They can draw within 10 and 9 minutes to go. Shirley passes off, and there's Cheese Johnson dropping it through. Cheese Johnson now has 18 points, 71-61. It was 15 points, now it's down to 10.
Just about every shot he takes is off the glass.
Reed is first by himself. Look out, that's what happens. Look out. 39 points by my count.
Bingo.
Oh, I bet Red Auerbach sitting up there in Boston going, woo.
You know, Larry didn't get out of the gate fast this game. The first 6-7 minutes he's on the drought.
Shirley misses, and third as the ball bounced away, and stepping on the end line is Cheese Johnson.
Watch him on a position. He's always on the inside. His timing, he almost controlled it, reached over his back and knocked it out of bounds. He's constantly thinking ahead of his moves.
Daly with the basketball. Slung it up, there's Larry Bird. Whoops, foul, and it's going to be called against Shirley.
Gee,
That'll be his fourth.
A nice pass off he kicked after he was fouled that time into Staley.
Now, people that Al and I have seen in restaurants and around the hotel and around this Holman Center are wondering if they win big today, will someone finally vote them number one? They've already gotten more first-place votes at both the UPI and AP poll than anybody else, but they've never been number one, and they want to finish the season number one.
I think UCLA and Notre Dame have raised the white flag.
Look at that. There's another play coming up. 41 points. That's...
All right, here we go with Larry again. Nice pass into him. He fakes to the right, and he swings right around. Very easy. Takes one giant step, plays it high. He did charge into Kolosinski.
That's his third personal foul. 41 points. He averages in his career, remember, 30 points a game. That's his career.
They have to take the 1-1 down this end.
A little over 10,000 now fills this place up, and they've got 9,579, and take into consideration that you can hardly move, if at all, outside because of the snow and bad weather. Kolosinski misses. Ball is loose. Battle for it. He's going to pick it up. It's Staley, and it's blocked. And Kroger draws a foul.
Looked like a combination of soccer and basketball and football that time.
Oh, James Smith is hot.
Here he is. He's kicking the ball over. Goes by him. I can't see who picks it up this time. Oh, that's Stacey picks it up. Goes up. Trogo comes up and fouls him. And I think that's his fourth foul. I don't know what Coach Gene Smithson was up about. It was obviously a foul.
He's up, I'll tell you. Staley has not scored and goes to the line for the first time.
Gene Simpson is 39 years of old age. He's 10-year high school coach, 4 years assistant coach at Illinois State, 3 years head coach at Illinois State. This is his first year at Wichita State.
And he also got his master's degree from Indiana State.
And he graduated from North Central in Naperville, Illinois, which is 35 miles below Chicago.
Well, that takes care of that.
Okay.
16-point lead, a little bit less than 8 minutes to go. Wichita State keeps chipping away and then losing it again. Shirley, top of the key, trying to get Johnson down underneath if they can. Fryer gets it to Kolosinski. He's got no place to go, does he? Ball is taken away by Bird on a steal. He'll take it all away, and it's no good, and a foul is called on Ryer. He's either going to get the basket or the foul, one of the two.
He just ate up Ronnie Ryer that time. Okay, watch Larry Bird. What else can I say about the fella? He's doing the whole package here. Here he is leading his own fast break. Ronnie Ryer, it's a mismatch completely. He had a lot of courage even to stand there. He reaches his hand in, fouls him, obviously, runs across his face, not on purpose. And he's on the line for two.
Well, he's got 41 points already. He's putting on quite a display.
You know, I don't think he's sweating.
Well, when you and I talked to him this morning, he sat there very calm, talked about the team concept. We asked him if there's pressure on him. He said, not at all. So we just go out, try to win every game, play as well as we can. We'll know we'll win. 79-61.
The only thing he wants money for is buy a new pair of jeans, he said.
Oh. No comment. Krogo. He's into the corner. There's Ryer for a rare shot by Ronnie Ryer, and he now has 8 points. 16-point lead. This may be too long, but no.
That was not done on purpose. Richard Williams bumped him on the way down.
That's his 4th personal foul. And Staley goes back to the line. He was 2 for 2. He was just there moments ago.
Looks like we're getting close to a bust out here. Plenty of time left, 7:15. If they make another run, they got to start putting more pressure on up court, Wichita State.
Staley now 3 for 3. This game being followed around the world by American Forces Broadcasting today. Well, Leroy Staley.
He's the only married fella on the team.
That ball actually went off the head of Krogel. From the side, there is Richard Williams, and he now has a total of 6 points. 81-65. 7 minutes to go.
Richard Williams is out of Connors Junior College in Oklahoma.
Nix shooting high. Bird is there. Come on.
Wichita State has not been using Cheese Johnson in the second half.
43 points, Larry Bird. From the side. That was Krogel taking the shot. It was no good. Make that 45 points for Larry Bird.
Okay.
And there's
Wichita State, call a timeout and get yourselves straight. Come on. Watch Bird step in front of this rebound. He's constantly looking for position. When he gets the ball on the inside offensively, it's automatically 2 and sometimes a 3-point play.
Indiana State wants to be number 1. They've got a 20-point lead with 6:22 to go, and Larry Bird has 45 points. Jim Simpson, Al McGuire, they're the statistics on Larry Bird. 4 more points, and he'll have an all-time high, and he would have saved it for national television when his team is on. And by the way, credit some defense, because Wichita State's been averaging better than 90 points a game. They'll have to hustle to get that with 6:15 to go. Portugal to follow. Staley tries to steal. Out of bounds belongs to Wichita State. Well, on Tuesday night against North Texas State, Indiana State right here will start its Missouri Valley Conference playoffs, and that's going to be a tough place for North Texas State to play. And Wichita State will be at home on Tuesday night. That's definite for their Missouri Valley Conference. There's Chief Johnson. Look at him chip the hand for the big victory.
He's going to come out with a basket or a foul every time you get him the ball down low. One of the reasons that Indiana State wants to win the Missouri Valley Conference is that the winner gets an automatic bye in the NCAA tournament. That means you don't have to play in the first round.
There's Chief Johnson. Whoop. First one he's missed. He has 18 points.
Cheese Johnson's going to have to play guard in pro ball. He's even in college, he's a small forward at 6'5".
Larry Bird, 18th rebound. Boy, did he slow up rather than draw a charging foul. Great body control. Staley on the pass from Miley. 87-65.
They're putting a show on for us
Krogel now has 18 points. 87-67. Oh, a big man dribbles the ball behind his back. Nix brings it down court. Nix is determined to shoot and get it. And has 19 points.
Bobby Knight says of Larry Bird, he says that he has the best sense on the basketball court of any player today on any level.
Krogel is going to shoot again. He's putting him up and putting him in. Kentucky's leading South Carolina 71-63. Nix loses the ball out of bounds. Well, Al McGuire, we're going to have to start thinking hard who's going to be the MVP. Think about it for a little while.
Well, there's somebody out there that's unforgettable, unflappable, unselfish, and unstoppable. And I don't know who it is, but I think that person will receive the most valuable player today.
We'll think about it. Well, let's say we've got it. Larry Bird, $1,000 comes to Indiana State in his name. Ticket letter commendation, one of many letters and one of many commendations he'll have before his collegiate and professional careers are over.
I have joined the bird watching world.
Whoop. Shirley keeps the ball. In the corner to Ryer, takes one of his shots, and he's got it. Ronnie Ryer now has a total of 10 points. Talk about Larry Bird and money. Al said all he wants is genes. The thing he wants, if he turns professional, when he turns professional, is to be able to take care of his family. He said, if I can do that, that's all I want out of life. Look at that pass back into Nix, who passes over to Gilbert, but I think it's going to be a foul called underneath, and it might be on Galasinski, and that's his fourth.
Watch this pass here. Here's Larry Bird, a super All-American. He gets hit, then Nix drives to the basket. He gives what simple, old-fashioned give and go. Then Nix gets a little bit fancy, but the foul was called on him earlier.
Nix with 19 points. It's 1-1. He is 1 for 2 from the line. Tough young man out of Chicago, Illinois, and a junior. And make no mistake, the people at Indiana State feel that even when Larry Bird is gone, they have the nucleus of a fine team for next year.
They have a representative team. You don't replace a fellow like Larry Bird. You just got to form a different type of system.
That's what Bill Hodges said. We're not going to try to do that. You can't do it. Can't replace Larry Bird. We'll get somebody else to do something else to help you win.
You know that Bill Hodges is on a one-year contract. I would like to go in and negotiate his contract.
Eric Kuhn, the freshman, on his first shot on national television, knocked it in. He's just 17 years old, could not control that. And once again, we'll point out that the Shockers have had trouble holding on to the basketball. They've missed a couple of interceptions. They've let some balls dribble out of bounds. And there's a ball almost thrown away, saved by Reed. Vogel is on him. Reed's going to take a shot. Look at Gilbert follow, no good. T. Johnson has the rebound. 4:15 to go. Wow. And they're pointing down on the floor.
What a nice move he made coming at Carl Nix that time.
Well, he likes to mix it up, but that's his fourth personal foul. But he's got a 20-point lead.
Watch this move. He gives a head and a hip fake here. Beautiful, like a halfback in pro football. Controls the ball. Basketball players are really so talented that it's a shame the game is so quick that you can't see the talent all the time.
He's Johnson, first end of a 1-1. Now has a total of 19 points.
Harran High School, New York City.
20 points.
Good friend of Butch Lee's. He might have came to Marquette if Bernard too didn't come.
Steve Reed takes it all the way in. Reed now has 8 points. The Russians, the Soviet team early today, defeated Louisville 91-76. Ball was knocked out of bounds, kept in by Galasinski. Throws it to Reed, to Nix. Nix is going to take the shot with nobody else down there, but you don't need anybody else down there when you hit it. 23 points for Carl Nix.
Nix is humming. He's perking out there. He wants to play.
22-point lead. Galasinski passes underneath. Guess who's got it? Larry Bird. Already, and that forgets about the first time with 4 or 5 minutes ago that we picked an MVP. It's been so obvious. Nix from outside. Yes, sir. 97-73. Indiana State is on national television, and don't you think they don't know it. Shirley takes the shot. In and out. Nothing's dropping for Wichita State.
Well, they're just playing one-on-one now, Wichita State.
Staley on the feed from Nix. 10 points for Staley. 99. They're going to get their 100.
Larry Bird hasn't touched the ball the last 4 minutes. They're still going.
There's another rebound by Bird in the long pass to Reed. Ryer knocks it away. Bird will pick it up and put it in. Reed.
I figured there'd be 200 points scored today, but I don't know if they'll get to that many.
101. They hit the century mark. And they're saying, calling all posters, look at us. We read about him. We talked to him, and now we have seen him play. Larry Bird, our MVP, 45 points, 19 rebounds, and believe it or not, he had a very slow start in the first half.
Yeah, like I tried to say at the top of the show, and I blew it, Haley's Comet. You can only see it once every 76 years, and that's his nickname down here in Terre Haute, Indiana.
And top gymnastics to follow from Romania on Sports World right after this game is over. Howell is in, the feed in. Galasinski takes the shot. Good, tough player. Galasinski now has a total of 14 points. 101-75. 2:20 to go.
student body wants Larry Bird to have the ball.
He's got the ball. He's got the shot. He's got the basket. He's within 1 point of his all-time high. 103.75. They wondered if he'd be nervous on television.
No, he's very well. He's very poised all the time. Never gets wrapped.
Tobar outside. Staley, who's been having a good day. All knocked away. Picked up by Nemchek, who's in, number 20. And Bird is knocked flat. By number 33, Howell. His first foul. And so now, Bird will have a chance to break his all-time record. He's got 47 points.
He's really,
I think they're going to, well, they called timeout. I thought they're going to sit him down. They've called time. 1:49 to go. We've been talking about what's coming up. Romania for gymnastics and motorcycle racing on Sports World Apollo. Oh, they're singing the victory songs here at Indiana State, and Larry Bird is on the line, 1-1. He has 47. One goes in. He ties his all-time collegiate record. If both go in, it's a new high for the College Player of the Year, Larry Bird, and 19 rebounds.
and Ambaccarist is singing an ode to Billy Packer.
They are. They have T-shirts here, ode to Billy Packer. And the last line, Billy, wherever you are, is don't come to our school. Billy Packer says Indiana State #1. Who'd they play? All right. Last regular season game for Bird. He makes it. That ties it, 48.
I like what he does in the foul shot. If he makes it or misses, he gets off the foul line and adjusts himself for the second shot.
All-time record for Larry Bird, 49 points. 105 to 75, a 30-point difference. And there those hands again. Pass was a little in front, but still the hands fail to control. And Smith let it go out of bounds.
I think
Bird stays in the game.
Yeah, when they take him out, I think we're going to have to stop it for a minute or so here because they give him some ovation.
Bird showing he can dribble, pass off, shot from the side, no good. From outside, hitting is Mike Denning. Denning out of Midland, Texas. 1:19 to go. Bird's got a shot. Hold on, that's way long. And here's Howell. He can feed to Johnson if he wants, but he wants to take it in. And Howell's got his first point.
I believe the sub coming in now will take out Larry Bird, so this will be his last shot if he gets his hands on the ball.
Shot from outside was taken by Nemchek. No good. Whistle blows.
There he goes. There he goes.
This is Larry Bird. All-time high, 49 points. Last regular season college game, the conference playoffs coming up, and then the NCAA.
Super job, Larry.
Some of these fans have been in line since Thursday night. Eric Curry in the game, Ritter in the game. For Indiana State, jump ball. McNally in the game. Bill Hodges is emptying his bench with 51 seconds to go.
I felt sorry for the students this morning when we came by at 10 o'clock to watch Indiana shoot. They're out there with blankets wrapped around them and so on. It was cold, it was snowing and the ice.
Well, they let him come in a little bit earlier than usual. Now there's a basket by Ogburn. His first. He is in the game for the first time. And now the Amen chorus comes up. Ball is turned over. This is Denny feeding to Johnson. No good. Whistle blows. 33 seconds. Well, make your judgments around the country. Is Indiana State #1? Is Larry Bird the best collegiate player you've ever seen? Or at least this year? So we'll see him more. Now, they've seen him now.
We'll see him more in the NCAA. The student body's going on, in fact, singing the song AA Men. He's really done a great thing for Indiana State. It's the school that first-generation college kids come to. I don't say it's a wealthy type student. A lot of rural type kids come. So congratulations to the school and to Larry Bird and French Flick and everybody else.
Shot is in and out and fouled and stuffed back in by number 32, Eric Curry. 107.82. Howell from outside drops it through. And Lawrence now has 4 points.
He had a nice trajectory on that shot.
15 seconds to go. Behind the pass for the shot, in and out by Ritter. Whistle blows with 5 seconds to go.
There's a 23-point lead with 5 seconds to go, and the place is going bananas. Look at Larry. Larry doesn't have any facial expression. He does all his talk between the lines of the basketball court.
Indiana State has wanted to be on national television for some time. They are on. There is Larry Bird. And whereas many of you will say, if you're a Wichita State supporter, it wasn't a good ball game. If you're around the country saying, well, there was no real contest after midway in the second half, forget all of that. Indiana State has risen to the pressure and has demonstrated for all the pollsters and for all of you watching and listening what it is they can do. Now comes the test when they move on past the Missouri Valley Conference and into the NCAA. There are a lot of good teams around.
I'm going to try to grab Larry Bird if I can, Jimmy.
Okay. Next Kelly score, it's all over. 109.84. Larry Bird with 49 points, an all-time record. Indiana State, for the first time in their history and for the first time in years and years in the Missouri Valley Conference, has gone through a season undefeated. They are 26-0. No other major college team can say that. 26-0. Larry Bird out to congratulate those from Wichita State. The Missouri Valley Conference tournament starts here on Tuesday night for the Sycamores against North Texas State. Wichita State goes back home and will have a Tuesday night game at home. And then it's on to the NCAAs, and NBC will be there. 49 points and a great crowd on a snowy day. The airports are closed. But what a game it has been in Holman Center. I'm Jim Simpson with Al McGuire. Our congratulations to Larry Bird. Our congratulations to Indiana State on their fine win over Wichita State here at Holman Center for the first time on national television. Technical Director Bruce Berkowitz. Associate Director Randy Wands and feature producer Jim Rooney. Now remember, next Saturday, March the 3rd, regional basketball. Check your local listings for the game and time in your area. And then at 4 o'clock Eastern Time, golf action on the Bay Hill Citrus Classic. And next Sunday, Notre Dame, Michigan basketball. 1 o'clock Eastern Time, followed again by the Bay Hill Citrus Golf. That'll be the 4th and final round. And also Sports World. But now, we invite you from Indiana State to stay tuned. For following these local messages, you will see Sports World, the Romanian Gymnastics Championship, plus the San Jose Motorcycle Racing.